Well, it's barely September here on the show, Jake Berry, but gosh, we're already in the district play in 31-5A. Yeah. And that means Pioneer and Cigaroa. Pioneer got back on it and had a good win the other day, and so now they've taken on Cigaroa. Now, correction. We had Zapata winning against Cigaroa, and apparently it was the other way around. So
so they're 1-1 now.
Yeah, that's a correctable error, as they say. So but I don't think it changes the equation much. I think the Diamondbacks are pretty much a favorite to start district with a solid effort, if not a win, probably a win.
Yeah. Cigaroa lost last week to
Eagle Pass, beat them to death, 49-0. So now Eagle Pass probably pretty good. So is Del Rio, but nonetheless, it's not exactly like Cigaroa is going to come in here as a top 10 team. What does Pioneer have to do to not get complacent? Because they haven't been to the playoffs yet, and so they got to start. This is step one in a process that I believe Coach Wheeler and them think, and we happen to agree, will probably end in a playoff berth in a historic season for Pioneer, okay? Yeah. But they've got to come up for a replacement for that Casas, the running back. They win against Pace, and who are them two guys who rushed for well over 100 each?
Tyler Boltice? Oh, wait, sorry.
No, he's the guy who had 11 tackles and a pick. Yeah. Benavides, right?
Yeah, Benavides
and Rivera.
Christian Rivera, right?
And they're young guys, and they had 150 each, something like that. Both guys had 11 tackles the first game, an interception last game. Look, a good athlete will find a place to play. He ain't worried about whether he's a quarterback, the running back, the selling programs. He don't matter. He's contributing in many ways, and so that's the kind of thing that builds a district championship team and a playoff team is kids willing to do whatever it takes, get on the field and contribute. Man, we were watching the Texas game, and big old Hurd got in there and caught a bomb. He used to be a quarterback. He don't care. He's getting paid to play. He's going to play wherever.
Yeah, and they did what they had to do against Pace. We were worried, wondering how they would play against Pace.
How they would respond mentally. Yeah. No, they were tight, man. They were tight, and I think that they're going to do a real good job against Cigaroa. Now, here's the point in time when we say that we're not going to root for a Valley team against Laredo, and we welcome Cigaroa Toros to the district, and may they have all the success that should be granted to them.
Against the other Laredo teams.
Absolutamente. Although, as we're going to talk about, Nixon is not so bad. Yeah. Anyway, how about some other names for these cats? Marco Cerno's getting some sacks. Cerno's getting some sacks for Pioneer. Chapa can play. Cervantes can play. This is, as I say, another step along the path for Pioneer. Don't take them lightly. Go out there and do another 41-pointer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, really, this one you have to put it to them because you want to send a message to Laredo also.
Look out for us. You're not going to beat us.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's going to be, and we're going to get 3 right there. Okay, Nixon I didn't think was that good, but I think Nixon's better than we thought. This is my upset special. They play at Roma. Not upset specials, and I'm picking it, but that Roma better be ready to play. Now, they ain't giving up but a touchdown all year. That defense is nasty, right? Yeah. But who did Nixon beat last week? I tried to check and see if this was a misprint, but I had him beating Alexander 31-13.
Maybe it's down. Maybe it's down near there. Maybe it's Bizarro.
Me hungry. A nice glass of sand,
Yeah, because, I mean, you look at this. If United isn't the team that usually is the dominant force or Alexander.
Then how did they beat Reagan?
Yeah, exactly.
Then how did they? Look, the bottom line is, man, Nixon, Roma, all of a sudden, hey, it would have been a great game back in the day in basketball when Bill Beatty and them were over with the Mustangs. Of course, they also made it to the regional tournament last year and lost to Vela. I saw that game. Yeah. The football team is making some noise, and good Lord, I think Roma's in for a great struggle, which is perfect. Because if you think you're a top 5 team, I happen to agree, here's a good challenge, man. Start out district.
Grind it out game. You really do.
And they'll get it. Because that's what they do. Yeah. They're a grind it out. They're a hard hat team, and they lay a lick on you. Man, I think it's going to be a nice football game. I mean, maybe Roma might end up kicking their butts. Yeah. But the way Nixon's played so far, hey, man, shoot, they come in at 2-0. Now, what about veterans who 1-1 against Martin 0-2? Veterans always hard to figure, man. I mean, right when you think that, hey, Diego had a great game. Hernandez, he had 5 touchdown passes. He was sharp as a tack, man. Absolutely.
Big game, big players. He didn't have a great game the first week because they're playing Harlingen. They're playing on the road.
A lot of pass rush.
First game back.
He's getting his sea legs after that injury, man. But you throw for 5 touchdowns, you cool with me.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
And he's going against Martin, who's 0-2, just lost to down in North.
Yeah.
So, you got to feel good if you're them.
It's not exactly shooting fish in the barrel, but I expect Vets to put up some points. Hey, guess who got an interception for the Patriots?
Who's that?
Landry Gilpin.
Hey, I think I know his dad.
Yeah, I heard of him. Yeah. Big guy, scares the hell out of me. I'll tell you this, just like Bullthies and Pioneer Bullthies, Gilpin's going to do whatever, whenever. You can put him at, in the ballet, he'll probably dance, man. I mean, he just wants to be a player, and he is. So you got a kid like that, you can put him wherever he plays, he's going to do good. I like it a lot. I told you about Juan Baradas, right? 16 tackles the first game, a bunch the second game. But they got these other kids, man, some young guys. They got a lot of young guys. I think it's like 7 out of 11. I call them Los Tres Garcias, right? Each line has got a Garcia, and they're all good players. I think Sergio's one, and who's the other guys? Help me out here. Oh, Jacob and Joey.
Yeah.
Hey, they come up with good players. You know why? Because it's a winning program. It's a very good coach, a great staff, and kids come in wanting to be part of that team, and they perform, man. I think Veteran's going to have a pretty good chance against Martin. Don't forget little Jazz.
Yeah.
Vallejo, man, that guy's got one of the coolest names. Him versus Ace Chavez for the all-name team right off the bat. What do you think of that? I think Veteran's going to kick Martin's butt. I really do. I don't want to jinx him, but, you know, they need to get going, and they know it. And they got the talent to do it, and I think they're going to show it. That rhymes. All right, Rio and Valley View. Well, we all of a sudden, Valley View got themselves a win. It's kind of like Lopez, all right? You won't find a week in the past couple of years when we can say that both of those teams won in the same week, and I'm happy for those guys, man. Now, what do you do for an encore? Because Rio is, man, they're starting to get it going, man. They're scoring some points and getting some yards. They're up tempo, man.
Yeah.
Valley View's got that grinded out. They're a slower team. I hope they can stay on the field with them. I imagine that they will, playing at home.
Yeah, I mean, Rio's traveling. They're going to have to kind of adjust because when you play at the friendly confines of
the blue field?
The blue field. Yeah, it takes a little bit of
yeah, it gives you vertigo,
remember,
man.
Valley View last year was a tough defensive team, so this is going to be interesting to see how they play on the road.
Yeah, and how's Adam Solis going to do, and how's Richie going to do, and how they got some players, man. Valley View is one of those things we always say, well, it's a good soccer team. I think they have a chance to make a little noise, man. I like to see them get some wins, and against the Laredo teams, obviously our good friends from the other 956, playing against Rio. Let's see if Rio can keep it going. But right now, they're another one of those 2-0 teams that we talked about in the early going. They've been impressive.
Yes, very.
Now, any other housekeeping notes that we want to do on the show? I have this little business here about some of the kids that are playing college ball. I'm just going to throw a few names at you.
Okay.
You had another idea?
Well, let's take a break and we'll come back with that.
Hey, man, he's the boss. Greg Selber, Jake Berry, the show. We'll be back for another segment. Always another segment. Otra vez.